All right. Well, we promised people that you are going to walk us through a deeply relaxing experience for us all to try. So, are we ready to do that now?
Yeah, totally awesome. Let's do this.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Hey guys, I'm here today with Jason McTiernan. This is very exciting. He's been on the channel before. His first time on the channel was probably 3 years ago. He had a really intense journey with chronic fatigue syndrome, or ME/CFS. He was severely unwell, I believe sick for about 10 years, but I'll let him tell you more about that. But now has been fully recovered for more than 7 years. He has one of the most incredible recovery stories I've ever heard, and now he does all this incredible work with people all over the world, helping them to recover as well. Jason, you're just an amazing person. I'm so glad to have you in my life in some capacity and so grateful that you're out there helping people. So thanks for taking the time to do this today.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. So exciting. Yeah, about 3 years since we did the first interview, and yeah, 7.5 years of complete wellness now. And my goodness, time is just passing by so quickly, as you're better and you're able to do so many things with your life. And yeah, looking forward to sharing some awesome information today.
Yeah, and I always share where people are. You're saying you're living my dream life. You've got no fixed location, so you're over in Playa del Carmen in Mexico right now. What a
Yeah, at the
beautiful
moment.
place to be. And for people watching, in addition to hearing a bit about Jason's journey, we're also going to talk a little bit about stress, because Jason was telling me that stress is linked to up to 80% of chronic health conditions. So, deep relaxation activities and things like this can be really influential and really beneficial for people on their journeys when they're facing these sorts of conditions. So stick around to the end of this video, because Jason is going to walk us through a very relaxing exercise for us to try. So you're not going to want to miss that. So very excited. Thank you. But yeah, for those of you who aren't familiar with your story, can you give us, I know it's hard to sum up such a long, intense journey, but kind of a recap of what that was like for you?
Totally. So yeah, it was an 11-year journey of going through chronic fatigue syndrome. So I was basically housebound for the vast majority of it. And I was bedbound at my worst as well for about 30 days at a time or so after a crash. The symptoms that I experienced were like crushing fatigue. I felt like I had absolutely no energy. I was waking up in the mornings feeling even more tired than when I went to sleep. I had brain fog, POTS, temperature regulation. So I basically had cold hands and feet all the time. I remember wrapping up in the wintertime in Ireland, and it was like I had like so many blankets and everything. And I was trying to keep warm, but I couldn't keep warm whatsoever. I also had post-exertional malaise. So even if I did a little bit of activity afterwards, I would feel super tired for days and days, or if it was a big crash, then it could be weeks or even a month. I also had muscle pain as well. So I remember sometimes just going for a short walk and having burning muscle sensations and finding it hard to sleep with that as well. I also had IBS, digestive issues, multiple chemical sensitivities as well, immune system dysregulation. So I had overactive immune system, or I had underactive immune system as well. So I was getting all kinds of colds and viruses and everything, and some autoimmune issues, and also insomnia as well. So it was horrendous going through it for the 11 years. I was trying absolutely everything, as you do. I started with, diet and supplements and all kinds of different things, and I tried everything. I became more and more open to things over time. And at one point, I actually got myself a treadmill, and I was walking on the treadmill for less than 2 minutes a day. And I was trying to gradually increase my exercise by like a few seconds every day. And yeah, I tried absolutely everything, but yeah, it wasn't working. I was completely fed up after 11 years, as you can imagine. Yours is a similar duration as well. And I was researching so many recoveries then. After 11 years, it was decided, you know what, the things that I had been doing clearly hadn't been working. So I needed to learn more and to find out what other people had done. So there weren't so many recovery stories back then. You've got amazing recovery stories on your channel now. But yeah, there were not so many. But I was looking at recovery stories, and I've seen so many people who would use brain training to heal. So I thought, okay, I decided to research it more. I looked into it, and then I signed up for it. I went for it. And within 2 months, I was actually fully healed. Within 2 weeks, I was starting to climb some smaller mountains again. And within 2 months, I was able to hike for up to 8 or 9 hours a day in Portugal. I went on holidays for the first time in 11 years. After 6 weeks of starting brain training, I was feeling so much better. I was kayaking through the caves. swimming, and basically driving on the other side of the road as well. And I remember like in the evening times, I was jogging along the beach, listening to music. I remember listening to Lenny Kravitz. It ain't over till it's over, and I was basically jogging along and feeling so good and having that sense of freedom again and being able to do things with my life. So I've been completely better, yeah, for 7.5 years. I feel better than ever. I'm 39 years old, almost 40 years old, and I got ill when I was 20 years old. So I basically feel more youthful and more energetic now than I actually did before, which is awesome. But deep relaxation was definitely a huge part of my healing journey.
So you talked about the role of stress and how that impacts chronic illness, because I know we all feel the effects and we know that stress is bad and it's overwhelming and it's exhausting. But I think a lot of us don't really appreciate the impact that can have on our physiology. So can you tell us a bit about that connection?
Yeah, so the fight or flight response, it's a primitive system of our brain, and it's basically designed to keep us alive. So it's mobilizing energy from our body, sending it to our limbs, because our unconscious mind is thinking that there's some kind of real or perceived threat. So if there was like a saber-toothed tiger or a bear in the past, when we were cavemen, we needed to either run from that threat or to fight that threat. But in our modern lives, there's stress coming from all kinds of different areas. And basically, the illness itself that I was going through and all the symptoms, that was like the threat, and I couldn't fight it. I couldn't run away from it. And it was triggering all kinds of things in my body. So it's basically our unconscious mind doesn't realize that it's, the symptoms are real, but it wasn't a threat to my life. So basically, I was stuck in that fight or flight response. And it affects all of our organ functions. So your energy, your immune system. My immune system was downregulated mostly. My digestion was affected as well. My sleep, detoxification, memory as well. I had brain fog. And basically all those systems in the body, like sleeping or your immune system or digestion, there's no point in those systems being active fully in your body if there's a real physical threat right there. If there was like a bear or a wolf right there, there's no point in sleeping. So those systems are downregulated in our body when there's severe stress. And so that's how it affects our physiology. So the fight or flight response is designed to help us to stay alive. But when it's a chronic ongoing level of stress, then it becomes an issue.
If someone had said to you, when you're in the middle of your journey and when you were still having all these symptoms and so sick, that said, oh, a big part of this is stress and your fight or flight system, like what would you have thought?
Honestly, initially I thought BS. I thought honestly, I didn't realize how stressed that I was. If someone had asked me if I was stressed or not, I probably would have said that I wasn't, but it was just because the amount of stress that I was experiencing about everything related to the illness, especially, and the changes in my life, because I was going from being healthy and being able to do pretty much anything and working full time to then being housebound and not being able to do hardly anything. So it was very stressful going through that. And it basically, sorry, I lost my train of thought there.
It just seems like a lot to wrap your head around for such severe symptoms that this could be the cause. I think it just takes, and I think a lot of us too, like I used to really think about symptoms, or a lot of us don't understand really the nature of symptoms and suffering. I used to think that suffering just happened and mostly had no purpose. And I didn't really understand the way our brain and our autonomic nervous system and, all these threat detection things use these horrible symptoms to try and keep us alive. I used to think of like pain in my elbow. It lived in my elbow and wasn't connected to anything else in my body. So it's, I think, a really big learning journey for most of us, understanding, despite having these really severe physical symptoms, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's something, broken or some sort of structural problem in your body, even though it feels so much like it is. So what happens? So you're talking about the effect of stress on the body. So when we reduce stress, then what happens?
So the parasympathetic nervous system is activated then. So when we're feeling so much more relaxed, and it can be completely miraculous because just like what I was describing, all of these systems are affected in our body, all of our organ functions, and then suddenly everything starts to function properly. So detoxification, immune system, memory, focus, energy, instead of your energy being sent to your muscles, it's actually can be used for your body and healing. So this is why it can be completely miraculous. And then I noticed that the symptoms were all fading at the same time, and my energy was starting to increase. And, it took a little bit of time. It wasn't an overnight success kind of thing. It took a little bit of time. It was 2 months for me to heal, but everything started to move in the positive direction then. So finally, I was dealing with the root cause.
Yeah, it's interesting. Even when I look back at my own recovery, I have quite a different understanding of it now than I did at the time. And one of the things that makes more sense is because people would ask me, well, how did you like fix this symptom, or how did you fix that symptom? And for me, it was never addressing one symptom at a time. I just said they all generally just started going away, as I
Hmm.
started getting better. And for me, oddly, exercise was a part of it, but I look at it now and seeing it wasn't about the exercise. That 1 minute a day wasn't making my body stronger or healthier. I was just slowly showing myself that it was safe and slowly coming out of it. And as that, all that safety came back, all of my symptoms just slowly started to go away, which was bizarre after so many years and doctors trying to help me fix each one
Hmm.
separately and having this mindset of like,
Hmm.
okay, we need this supplements for this and we need this medication or this whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, totally awesome.
All right. Well, we promised people that you are going to walk us through a deeply relaxing experience for us all to try. So are we ready to do that now?
Yeah, totally awesome. Let's do this.
Okay.
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 So let's really enjoy a deeply relaxing experience together. So I'd like you to listen with some earphones to get the best experience and to sit in a nice, comfortable, relaxing chair, the most comfortable chair that you have, or you could be laying down either. So we're going to begin with taking some slow, deep inhalations. So I'd like you to breathe in through your nose and focusing on your gut area. And breathing out. Breathing in again through your nose. And breathing out through your mouth. That's it. One more time. And breathing out. Now, I'd like you to imagine the most beautiful, relaxing beach. It has that turquoise blue color. You can see the water shimmering, the sunshine is shining off the water, and a beautiful coastline, pristine white sand, beautiful palm trees, some coconuts up in the trees, and perhaps some white fluffy clouds and that blue sky as well. And I'd like you to imagine that you're going to be going for a nice relaxing stroll along the beach, feeling the sand between your toes, noticing the temperature of the water on your feet, the sun in front of you, and the lovely relaxing sound of the ocean. Perhaps there's some seagulls chirping, flying over, and feeling the lovely warmth of the sunshine shining on your skin. The lovely, gentle breeze on your face as well. And just breathing in the salty, fresh air. So fresh. And after a while, walking along the beach, I'd like you to notice a peaceful, relaxing area. There's beautiful palm trees and the white sand. And there's some hammocks in this area as well. I'd like you to walk over to one of the hammocks and just gently sit into the hammock. Feel the gentle motion. Just feeling so deeply relaxed. In this serene place. Looking out at the ocean, seeing the waves, and the sun setting in the sky. Beautiful color of the sky, red and pink and orange colors. And the sun setting deeper and deeper down into the ocean. And the sun glistening off the water as the waves gently move. You can hear crickets in the background, hearing the gentle sound of the waves lapping up against the shore. Totally relaxing in the hammock. And the sound of the waves soothing, cleansing every area of your body. Every muscle fiber, every cell, completely relaxing. Relaxing your head, your neck, your shoulders, your arms and your hands. Every organ down through your legs, your calves, your feet, and your toes. All completely relaxing, even more. Healing every cell of your body as you enjoy this relaxation in a super relaxing environment. And I'd like you to notice that your friends have a campfire on the beach. All of your best friends are there, and they're inviting you over. Walking over there and joining them. I'd like you to imagine that you're all sitting in a circle, watching the sun setting. Beautiful color of the sky. The sound of the ocean. Feeling so connected. Laughing and sharing. Having a wonderful time together. What an amazing day. I encourage you to rewatch this video and enjoy it as often as you like. Okay.
Wow, I feel incredible.
Awesome.
That is
Awesome.
amazing. That I feel like I was just there. And yeah, we'll make sure that this is bookmarked in the timestamp. So for people watching, you can go back and easily find the start of this and replay it whenever you need to just really get that deep relaxation. That's really powerful. Thank you for that, Jason.
Awesome.
I
You're
appreciate
totally
that.
welcome. Excellent.
So can you tell us a bit about the work that you do now with people? What does that look like to help them recover from these sorts of conditions?
Yeah, so basically what I did was I created a full online program. So I basically created a blueprint for recovery. It's a step-by-step process that people can follow. Because brain training, it's something that it doesn't have to be super complicated. I made it as simple as possible. It's more difficult to make something simple than it is to make it complicated. But I've made it quite easy for people to actually start implementing. So what I have is it's a full online video series. It's also one-to-one coaching calls with me, and people have direct access to me via text message or email as well. And it's based on, everything that I did to heal. It's very focused and concise, and all of the information is based on science, all the latest science and research, and is totally actionable as well. And the main focus that I have is, yes, understanding how brain training works. That's really interesting, but also more so on how you can actually implement it and get the results. Adaptability is really important because everyone is a little bit unique, a little bit different. I was too when I was getting better. I think it was a challenging case, to be honest. I had so many symptoms and so many patterns and everything, but I was able to adapt the brain training to get fully better. That's how I approach it. So normally it's just about 2 to 4 months for people to get better. So it's a relatively short amount of time. The reason why is because we're dealing with the root cause, like we were talking about. So basically that's what I do. I help people worldwide with my program. It's an absolute pleasure and joy for me. It's very close to my heart. I chose to take this path to really help people because, I went through it for 11 years and it was 11 years of figuring out how to get better. But actually, when I figured out how to get better, it was only 2 months. So I want to shorten that recovery path for people as well. And why not aim for a better quality of life on the other side as well? I'm way more relaxed and confident in everything that I ever was before. And so why not aim for that too?
And I'll link an interview up here. I'm thinking of someone who worked with you who did fully recover. For people who want to, get the experience or just what it's like to work with Jason, and not just that. I've talked to a lot of people who have worked with you, and everyone speaks so highly of you, Jason. I know you truly care, and you put your all into this. And every single person I've spoke to has just been so appreciative of you and the care and the patience and the kindness and the generosity that you show up for with people. So everything to find out more about Jason, of course, will be linked in the video description. I really encourage you to expand that and take the time to go check out what he has, because he's helping a lot of people and he's got a lot of insight into this illness. So yeah, really great stuff there. Thank you so much for doing this today, Jason.
Thank you so much, Raylan. You're totally welcome.
Your videos, and every time you come on, they're among the most popular on this channel. Everybody just loves you and is so appreciative for what you share. I am so grateful for you. So yeah, I'm really glad that you took the time to do this today. And for people watching, looking forward to your thoughts. Let's hear in the comments, what's been working for you. Tell us your experience. Have you tried braid training? What's worked for you? And also want to send a shout out to one of our channel members, Justus, BR. Justus, thank you so much for the support. I'm sending much love to you. I appreciate you supporting the channel. If you're watching and you want to become a channel member, you can click that join button just below the video to find out more about that. So thank you again, Jason. Thank you to all of you watching. Big hugs to you. Whatever you're facing, keep at it. You have got this. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it, and I hope to see you in this next one.